Hit a home run last night, hit a home run during the Braves series. I mean, this is again, another hitter-friendly ballpark, but still, I mean, look at Tim Tuffle just standing on third base. I don't know why that was so funny. It's not even Tim Tuffle anymore. Who's the third base coach now? Is it DeSarcina? I mean, the Mets changed third base coaches like I changed clothes. God, the guy is hitting so many home runs lately, and he's really just on. Did you see the way the pitcher's head was moving? Hey everyone, welcome to another New York Mets franchise mode, episode number 55. As in the last one, we had a nice 3-run first inning, and then it took a while before we could get any more runs. We had some nice little insurance from Nimmo and then McNeil. Michael Walker pitched a good game. We had JD do I don't know what the heck you're doing on left field. That's why the video is titled Wake Up JD, because of that particular play. Really drove me nuts, the fact that he couldn't react on the ball. Cost us a run. JT Realmuto was giving us a pretty hard time. All in all, able to come out with the win. Bullpen held it down. So now, more minor league injuries. And we have, I don't think it's Mets. I think it's DeGrom actually going up against Zach Eflin. So let's hop right into it. You look at that Phillies lineup, the guys with the two highest averages and the two guys that are hot are Realmuto and Kingery. And I definitely felt the effects of that. I mean, they gave me a much tougher time than everybody else, which is not something you expect. I mean, I know JT Realmuto is a good hitter, but those aren't the first two guys you circle in that line. I mean, look at the way the lineup is constructed. You don't circle the number 6 and number 7 hitter. You know, that's usually not how lineups are constructed. So that just proves to me even more that I have to be extra careful with them. And I feel like I was pitching JT Realmuto pretty good. Like, I was trying my best to stay on the corners, and I even did. He ripped the outside cutter to the opposite field. I tried to throw an inside slider, hung over the plate. He hits it out. So definitely got to keep a close eye on him. And hopefully Jacob DeGrom could be the DeGrominator for me. But first, we got to take care of some offense with Jeff McNeil leading it off against Zach Eflin. The first pitch is hit into right center. That's going to be a just early good leadoff double for Jeff McNeil. Alrighty, that's how we like to start. Nimmo drives that one out to right center field. Good. Bryce Harper looking up, and it's out of here. Brandon Nimmo leaves the yard, his 8th of the year. And New York Mets jump out to an early 2-0 lead. So again, attacking the Phillies early in that first inning. And all of a sudden, Brandon Nimmo's power is kind of coming up lately. Hit a home run last night, hit a home run during the Braves series. I mean, this is again, another hitter-friendly ballpark, but still, I mean, look at Tim Tuffle just standing on third base. I don't know why that was so funny. It's not even Tim Tuffle anymore. Who's the third base coach now? Is it DeSarcina? I mean, the Mets changed third base coaches like I changed clothes. So, I mean, I don't even know who's over there. But wait a second. I want to see that again. Why was he standing on third base? Who is it anyway? It is DeSarcina. Okay, so I just want to see how did he end up there? All right, so he watches the fly ball, right? He doesn't say anything to McNeil. He's like, yeah, just keep doing. You got this. Watching Nimmo sprint around the bases. Okay, now he's going to walk. Oh, they stopped it there. I want to see the whole trot. Are you serious? Oh, come on. That's not cool. Timeout. I want to see the whole trot. Pete Alonso called timeout. Oh, my God. All right, well, you have to take my word for it. You guys saw it. Don't even try me right now. Michael Conforto drives that one to deep right field. It is out of here. Oh, my goodness. Conforto is, honestly, I'm probably going to jinx myself, but he is too good. I mean, he's almost batting like a Freddie Freeman or a Goldschmidt or all these other guys that are such a pain in my side and pain in my you-know-what, but Conforto has been doing so well, especially recently. I mean, it's a pitch down the middle. I get it, but, I mean, God, the guy is hitting so many home runs lately, and he's really just on. Did you see the way the pitcher's head was moving? It was just going left and right, left. That's not even humanly possible. I don't know what's going on with all these glitches after the home runs. Or maybe I'm just so tired I'm seeing things, but I don't know, just funny stuff going on right now. I am very critical of him, and because, like, I think he can be a really good player, and I feel like even though he is good, I still think he could be better. I feel like he just underachieves just a little bit. I mean, I am being like hard on him. I'm holding him to a high standard, but I know it's in it because I've seen him do it. You know what I mean? Like, if I've never seen Conforto be an all-star, have almost a 300 average, was so good when he first came up, hitting home runs in World Series games, I wouldn't really think much of him. But I do because I've seen him do it. I'm like, all right, well, do it again, you know, and prove to me that you are that player consistently. That's been his big problem. It's just the inconsistencies, the hot streaks and cold streaks. Rosario gets a hanging slider. He caught that? Oh my gosh, really? That's what I'm saying. Like, you can get a pitch down the middle. That doesn't necessarily. Who got hurt? They got hurt. Okay, all right. Good trade-off. Who was that in center? Nick Williams? I mean, not the guy I wanted to see get hurt. I would rather have been like Real Muto or Kingery or DeGrom! Perfect. All Legend Plus is out of here. I almost choked. I can't breathe. What the heck? Big Jake goes yard. He destroyed that pitch. I know it was down the middle, but you know how hard it is with pitchers in this game? On Legend Plus? Are you kidding me? DeGrom helping his own cause, getting himself his own run support. Oh my goodness. So Rosario gets a pitch down the middle, hit that launch blooper, but DeGrom with the 109 mile per exit velocity. What is going on here right now? This is a crazy first inning, and they're going to take their pitcher out. Holy moly. Nimmo drives that one out to right field, and good okay. It's off the wall. I'm actually going to send McNeil because it took him so long to get that ball in. The relay it over third, not in time. It's an RBI triple for Brandon Nimmo. Second RBI hit of the inning. And it is 8-0 New York. Alonso drives that one out to deep left field. Looking up, and it's out of here. Pete Alonso with the 2-run homer. His 24th of the season. And the New York Mets now lead 10-0 here in the first inning. It's on Legend Plus. You guys know that. I mean, so I'm not cheating or anything like that. Trust me. You know how much I struggle, how much I rage and all that stuff. You know, you know how hard I've worked to try to get better and be smart and swing at the right pitches. I mean, no matter what difficulty you play it on, you throw Alonso a pitch down the middle, good chance that's going to happen. So I think the main thing is that if I could not swing at pitches like way out of the strike zone in the dirt like I normally do, what happens is that they fall behind in the count, and since I already had a runner on base, they didn't want to put another one on base, so they gave me that really nice pitch to hit, and Alonso hit it. Robbie Cano drives out to right field. Harper looking up, and it's out here very early. Good. Oh my gosh, guys, I hit a home run very early on Legend Plus. Me and Demetrius were talking about this in the comments section a couple of days ago with the Braves video where Freddie Freeman hit a home run against me that was very early timing, and now I just did it, and this was on Legend Plus. I mean, this is Citizens Bank Ballpark. No chance that's a home run in Citi Field, you know, because this is a short right field wall. And just this whole stadium in general, it's a hitter-friendly ballpark, so I wouldn't be able to do this in Citi Field. Like, I don't think Alonso's would have went out. This one definitely doesn't go out. Nimmo's maybe. DeGrom's obviously does, and then Conforto's obviously does. So it's just pretty interesting because you see the difference it could make with this whole idea of like ballpark factors and just the way it could change the team's offense. It's a perfect example right there. I was talking about earlier how me and Demetrius were talking about hitting home runs, very early swings. Obviously, again, thank you, Demetrius, because we're not having 11 runs in the first inning on Legend Plus without zone. So that was obviously a huge suggestion that has definitely made a big difference for me offensively. I'm just really curious to see what the Joe Girardi effect is, and we'll see just how big of a difference he makes because the two teams finished, again, so similar in the standings, and they both got new managers, and we'll see what kind of difference it makes. Because if you see the Phillies have a way better year than the Mets, it just proves what we thought all along, that, you know what, the Mets should have got Joe Girardi, but because of Wilpon and Brody wanting all this control, they didn't want Joe Girardi because he actually has, I guess, not so much dignity, but he has enough of a personality where, like, he's going to stand up for himself and not just be told what to do by, the other two guys. So, I mean, we'll just see how that whole thing works out. Hit on the ground. Alonso, I mean, okay, I know you booted it, but why do you have to overrun the ball as well? The crazy thing is that I thought I was actually going to be able to get JT Realmuto out, but of course, Alonso doesn't want to field the ball correctly. And then Scott Kingery. I mean, these two guys are just crazy good. It makes zero sense. Zero. Why these two guys are so good. That's interesting that they had the pitcher swinging the bat there. I really thought that was going to be a bunt scenario, but I guess when you're down so much, you have to swing the bat. I hope that the pitcher could hit a true run bomb like DeGrom did. So I just think that's interesting. That was the strategy they went with there. Ramos drives out to left field. McCutchen going back, and it's out of here. Just early squared up. Wilson Ramos hits his 10th home run of the year, and New York Mets extend their lead. It is now 13-2. Again, that's a home run that I don't think is out in Citi Field. I mean, that's just the Citizens Bank ballpark effect, and I'm not complaining because it allows me to put up more runs and just help me win games. And the Mets tend to do well in Philadelphia. They hit better there than they do in their home ballpark. Again, that's why. It's just so much easier to leave the yard here. I'll never forget that one game the Mets had in 2015 where I think they set their record and Flores went yard and David Wright went yard and just everybody, everyone was hitting home. Everybody. I think Cespedes had 1 or 2. Like, the whole team was just hitting homers. That's why they set the record. And, of course, it was here. And some of them were definitely some shots, like they were out in any stadium. But the Mets have definitely had their fair share of good offensive games here.
At the ball.
Wow, you could have rang them up. I mean, this is a 13-2 game. Why you got to make this longer than it needs to be? Well, I mean, Bryce Harper usually doesn't go opposite field. It happens occasionally. I mean, you'd much rather him beat you outside than inside because it's less likely to happen. That ball didn't get out enough, and it was too middle. And he was just able to get the PCI a little bit on it and hit it over the wall. DD flies one out to left. JD coming over. Actually able to make the catch and not fall asleep. I'll definitely take that. I don't want to pull Jake just yet, but because it's a 10-run game, I will. Dom Smith drives one out to deep right field. Just early squared up, and it's out of here. You see a lot of fans left the ballpark already. Can't take much more of this Mets going off. Dom Smith, I had a tough time with him off the bench, no doubt about it. Every now and then he'll poke one out, 5th time this year. And I would like that I was better with Dom because he is a player that I like watching. And another guy that I definitely came around on because I had just become so tired of hearing, oh, Dom Smith is the, one of the big prospects for the Mets. He's going to be one of the first basemen of the future, all these different things about him. Then I watched this guy play. I'm like, this guy can't hit a lick. He's supposed to be this pretty good defender, doesn't look great, and then all of a sudden he got his sleep apnea worked out, he got his diet correct and all that stuff. It changed his stance a little bit, and him and Alonso having that battle for first base, and it really could have gone to anybody if Alonso's power was just so unreal. And Dom was still able to have a really good season. I mean, he was hitting above 300 for a while and whatnot. Then he gets hurt, and that was unfortunate, but he comes back and he hits the walk-off homer. And I just think it's going to be, no way, McNeil? Oh my God, look how, wow, oh my goodness, that pitch was way out of the strike zone. I shouldn't even have swung at that, but Jeff McNeil leaves the yard. But what I was going to say about Dom, it's just that I don't understand what his role is going to be for this team right now, because I feel like the DH is probably going to be Cespedes. So, I mean, the thing is that there was little playing time for Dom as it is, and I feel like it's even less now because one thing that what he does for me and probably who's going to do for the Mets was be a pretty he was going to be a pretty consistent pinch hitter, but I don't think there's going to be much pinch hitting if there is a universal DH. So, I mean, he really doesn't serve much of a purpose on this team. If pitching is a problem, which I imagine it will be, like if Michael Wacha and Rick Porcello don't have great years as Mets, or if, God forbid, someone else gets hurt, or Stroman and Matz are inconsistent again, and the bullpen is bad again, you might just have to, because it's like, if you could just maybe re-sign Alonso, you would know that you have somebody for first base, and if you kept McNeil and you kept JD and Conforto and Nimmo, you have plenty of guys that could play left field. And those are the only 2 positions that Dom could play. So, I mean, he's not really going to have much of a purpose on this team. As much as I like him, and I do like Dom Smith a lot, I just think that with the way the team is constructed, the other areas of need that they have, I feel like it has to be addressed somehow. And we know they're not going to do it with money and free agency under current ownership. And it's less likely even now because I'm just really curious to see what contracts are going to look like in the offseason, as that should have been a homer if it wasn't early. But owners are going to be less likely to give players big-time deals because of all the money they lost this year. And if this virus comes back in the fall or whatever, they're going to lose money again. So they're not going to want to keep losing money and give it to the players, especially if they have no way of getting it back. So, I mean, I don't really see another way that the Mets could address those other areas because they're not going to do it in free agency. So their only real chance of making something happen is via trade. And the Mets don't have a lot of prospects. They're either on the team or have already been traded. So I feel like Dom is all you might just have left. I mean, maybe you could throw Jimenez into the equation, but still, the Mets really don't have much assets left to really move around and make other changes to the team. Phillies are down to their last strike. Here is the 1-2 from Robert Gsellman. Didi hits one on the ground. Eduardo Nunez is right there. Throws onto first, and the ball game is over. Put it in the books. The New York Mets win a nice, hefty one, 15-3. And no, this wasn't on Rookie. This is on Legend Plus as far as the hitting. The pitching is on All-Star because of all the troubles that the Braves gave me. I was on Hall of Fame, I think, at one point, or almost at Hall of Fame. But the Braves scored so many runs off me that it's going to take a while before I can get back up to that level. Pulse has definitely helped, other than the 2-run homer I gave up to, I think it was Kingery, after Alonso had that mishap on Real Muto's play. DeGrom pitched a great game. I gave up 1 home run to Bryce Harper. Ball I wanted to get a little lower, a little more outside, but Bryce is going to do that to you. It happens. I mean, we saw Bryce Harper hit a home run against the Mets with a broken bat. So you just know things are going to happen like that going into the series. But all in all, we only allowed 5 hits, so I think that's really encouraging. That first inning was straight up glitchy between Gary DeSarcida standing like over third base, like more like where the third baseman should be. The pitcher's head moving all over the place after giving up the home run. All the home runs that were hit, I mean, DeGrom hit a no-doubter. McNeil went yard. Dom Smith went yard. Robbie Cano, Ramos, Conforto, Alonso. I mean, almost the whole team, am I right? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Who was the one guy that didn't hit a homer? Oh, Rosario. He actually went hitless in this game. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so, I mean, Rosario was the one guy, and JD didn't hit a homer either. But all in all, I mean, that's pretty good for Legend Plus, almost getting everybody to hit a home run. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment. What do you think about Citizens Bank Ballpark and the Mets and the Phillies, what they should do with Dom Smith, universal DH, owners and players arguing about money, all that fun stuff. One thing you could do before we really find out what baseball's plan is going to be is you can hit the subscribe button, you know. Helps me out, makes me feel better. We'll make this, you know, focusing, trying to get 11 runs in the first inning, make it worthwhile. You know what I mean? Because it definitely, I said before, it requires a lot of focus to really do well in this game. But until the next one, be safe, be smart, and I'll see you then.